When I come out of my school context, I'm really also drawn back to my school context. I find it really difficult to talk about school when I'm there all the time and it envelops me. But when I come to a place like this, I'm like James Joyce when he was exiled from Ireland and he could suddenly write about Ireland all the time. So I end up talking about school with passion when I'm not actually there. But this image for me, which you can sort of see, is a picture of the Nantla Ridge, which is a wonderful range of mountains in North Wales that rolls out towards the Irish Sea. And this picture was taken in 2007 when my sister and my children were walking that ridge from east to west. We were halfway through. And it's an embodiment of what leadership means to me, really, which is there's that wonderful sense of it's bigger than me. And it's also that wonderful sense of there being a place that I really want to go to, that really draws me. And the path, I can see the path in the foreground on that picture really clearly, that I know there are some people just immediately ahead of me, which makes me feel confident. But in the middle part of that, it doesn't actually look as though it's really penetrable. There's a really dark space in between. So actually how I'm going to get from here to there, it just has a slight feeling of terror inside of me. And that's actually the wonderful sense of the unknown that it evokes for me. So for me, that is my evocative image of leadership. And the place that my soul resides really is in the mountains. And I kind of go there for my renewal of my leadership purpose. But this is my school. And I've chosen it as a photograph on a day when, contradictory to the normal sense of school, there are no people in it because it was snowing. And I've also chosen something that also inspires me because I started out in my teaching career as an English teacher, and poetry is an important part of words, important part of my journey to unlock and inspire what lies within people and myself. And I just took that bit from Ode on a Grecian Urn, which is the beginning of the poem. Thou still unravished bride of quietness, thou foster child of silence and slow time. It's really nice that I'm in a group called Stillness today, and I've just been looking at the image that we have on our little group picture to think about how important it is to be able to be still amidst my context. If I was told that this talk would be 3 minutes long, now I'm asked to talk a lot, but really never for 3 minutes. It's like your whole life on a postcard. It's really difficult. So I might not be able to manage it, but in 3 minutes, you can walk down our main school corridor and you can be essentially overloaded with a crush of 1,100 bodies, and this is like a change over time between lessons, smells of toilets, bleach, feet, sweat, damp, particularly when it's been raining, as it has lately. The floors soak in the damp and then they kind of smell for a long time afterwards. Amidst all of that, and pushing and shoving, I mean a lot of physical proximity of people, so that you have to kind of fight your way through, really. You still see faces that smile at you in the crowd. So for me, it's a tremendous sensual overload being in a school building every day. So my sense of balance and what I try and do as a leader is to bring about this space that I can create. If I can't create it in actual physical places, like my office, I can try and create it in myself. And that's what I try to do. And obviously a lot of what I do comes from my practice of yoga, and this ability to tune in, if only to just one's own breath, is an important thing that I can try and access and bring to others as well within the school. This is Meg. Bringing it down to how important it is to be able to create a space in this time, to be able to see one individual young person in all their complexity with all the issues that they bring. Now this is Meg's picture that she painted in year 12 when she was 16, 17. She's in year 13 now in the sixth form. She's hoping to go to art college. Meg's been with us all her school career, but has survived by a thread most of the time. And when she was in year 9, she set fire to somebody. She tied somebody to the goalpost. I mean, she's absolutely outrageous. But for Meg, the school has been her kind of saviour and her strength. And I love the way that she's shouting in a megaphone there in her picture, her self-portrait. And all the people around her on her right are the people that she knows, her friends. And if you can't quite see, but above her head, she's starting to write the things she's saying. And the first words are, I hate. You can't really read it all, the rest of it. She's very good at art, and it really looks like Meg. And when I look at the picture, you can see the absolute scream that she's making there. It's like the Edvard Munch picture. But she's trying to communicate with people. When I see this picture, I think, well, gosh, this is every child is really trying to tell their story. Not necessarily in the same way that Meg has, but to varying degrees. And to create the stillness and the silence and the space to be able to listen to every single one of those children, every single one of those lives. But the work we've done with Meg through the Dissolving Barriers to Learning workshops has been marvellous in kind of a blossoming of Meg into a young woman. And the thing that strikes me most when I see this picture, actually when I was preparing it for the presentation, is that Meg doesn't know who her dad is, and I think she's calling to him out there. So that's one of the issues that we've been working with Meg. Sorry, this makes me a bit emotional talking about everything. Anyway, so it comes down to the journey that you have to make with the people who are around you and who you have to be in relationship with, really. And for me to try and find that space and stillness for us to be able to approach every individual and respect them and love them and have compassion for them in the way that every one of you who is a parent would wish that your child would be treated. And we have great hopes for Meg. Thank you very much.